What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Today, the stock market is hitting all-time highs with the SPY sitting at 555. We have the Qs also moving a bit higher this morning at 495, while Bitcoin continues to fall off and people are selling, and there is panic in the markets wondering how much lower can Bitcoin go. The sell-off started over the July 4th holiday while the markets were closed. And so in today's video, we are going to get into uh, where Bitcoin and crypto may be going. But first, I wanted to discuss uh, what stocks and commodities and sectors we should be looking at for um, the market moving forward and how much higher this stock market could potentially go. All right, guys, that sounds good to you. You know what to do. Be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And let's get into it. So, where are we in this stock market cycle? Well, you can see here is a chart of the election years. And right now, this black line is showing us from where we've been since 2021, 2022, and the typical uh, bull market cycles that we see going into a presidential election year. And for the year 2024, uh, this shows typically we see more upside in the markets. Of course, there could be some dips or pullbacks here, so that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. Right now, the markets are looking a bit overextended, and you may see a pullback here sometime. I'd be watching around this 550 level on the SPY. I could see that markets possibly seeing a small correction here coming. Typically, we know that the first couple weeks in July are bullish for the markets, and we may see a dip uh, maybe towards the end of this month or going into August and beginning of September as summer comes to an end and people typically take some vacations before school starts back. But I do think that later this fall, these markets will continue to grind higher. Of course, we'll have to watch price action to determine that. Um, but here are some other signs that the stock market continues to remain bullish. We just need to keep a look at a couple different sectors to determine the health of the market, and one of those is the financials. Attempting to break out of this uh, area here of resistance and flip that into support. You can see the RSIs are oversold on the weekly, so we could see the financials continue to do better here, knowing that they are lending at higher rates and they continue to lend. So as long as the financial sector stays up, well, that will be good for the stock market. We could also watch some other sectors such as housing, but this week we have the bank earnings coming out and Powell coming out to testify once again this week. Plus, we have some inflation data that we need to keep an eye on. What other markets and sectors are looking good? Well, the metals, this is XME, breaking out of this pendant here and moving higher, setting at 61.42. So it looks like the metals are showing some strength. We see gold moving up here the past couple of weeks, as we have mentioned on this channel, that we thought we were about to see a bounce as the RSIs were oversold on the weekly. Right now, gold is sitting at 23.76, and it looks like it could move higher. And of course, this is bullish for The gold miners, this is GDX sitting at $36, and it looks like these gold miners could move higher potentially, and we know that they lag the price of gold. And if we just zoom out here a little bit, I wanted to mention this again. I mentioned this last week. Um, we do have these miners. Let's zoom out to the weekly here, and it's going to make me reload this page. So let me just do that real quick. Hang with me one moment, folks, and we will get back into this. So if we look at uh, the gold miners on the weekly chart, we can see here that we have this long trend going back to the top of 2011. So you can see how the miners have been suppressed for so long here. And of course, we had this downward sloping trend line that we've been talking about for several months here on this channel. And we knew once we broke through that, that would act as support and we would see movement to the upside. So if we could break through this next level of resistance, you could really see the gold miners start to do a lot better. You also have things like copper uh, doing a little U-turn here and moving higher at 463. So it looks like copper is showing strength again, and of course copper's been very strong earlier this year, as well as a lot of these commodities. Well, we know that copper is um, a sign that the economies are doing well and there is growth. And why is that? Well, I do believe we are seeing that because of what is going on with these chip manufacturers and AI. Of course, this sector here has been leading, and some of these stocks are shaping up to potentially start moving up. And of course, as they sell more computer chips, well, that means there will be more demand for metals, uh, not only for the chips, but for the infrastructures to be built out and these data centers. And there's a lot of copper and other metals used in that. And so that's why I think you could see some of these metals uh, do well. But moving into the chips, this is SMCI setting at 912, breaking out of this line of resistance here. So it looks like some of these chips could start to do better. NVIDIA obviously has been leading the way, but some of these have been sold off a bit more and have been continuing to accumulate sideways and could move much higher. So that is SMCI. We also have Intel finding a nice little base and breaking out here. Uh, so Intel's moving higher, sitting at 33.47. Would I buy Intel as a long-term investment? Probably not. Intel has really kind of lost its superiority in chip manufacturing, but nevertheless, they continue to build out new facilities and they have new products coming out. So I could see this being a great little trade for day traders or swing traders. It looks like we may go get this gap fill here on Intel, and you could see this stock moving much higher here, potentially in the short to medium term. Um, so that's one stock to keep an eye on, and another stock is AMD, which is doing a little better than the others, and probably is one of the best semis out there behind uh, NVIDIA and maybe Taiwan semis. Of course, breaking to new all-time highs here a couple months ago, and now using that line of previous resistance and flip that into support. And this is on the weekly chart, and we see AMD moving up, sitting at 175.43. If you're interested in buying stocks, commodities, or crypto, you can do so over on Robinhood. Right now, Robinhood is offering a 1% boost, and they offer 8 times the national savings rate. Plus, they allow you to begin building your portfolio with just as little as $1. You can invest in stocks, options, ETFs, and trade commission free. Plus, they offer Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, and many more, as well as gold. If you're interested, there is a link down below in the description. All right, guys, let's get into the Bitcoin price and discuss what is going on over there. Uh, so first off, why has Bitcoin been selling off? Well, it appears that the majority of this is due to the FUD of the German markets dumping its Bitcoin. Plus, we have the Mt. Gox that has transferred a third of the recovered funds for 47.2 thousand Bitcoin, or 2.7 billion distributed to holders. So is that concerning for the Bitcoin market? How much lower could it go? Well, I just wanted to point out that we are putting in a flagging pattern here on Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin's sitting at $56,400. So where could the Bitcoin price go? Well, if we go back to my other Bitcoin chart here, where we have uh, these charts drawn out and to see where this may go. Well, right now, if we can maintain this level, we may be putting in a small double bottom here. We have the RSIs crossing to the upside on the daily. Plus, if we zoom out to the weekly, well, you can see here the RSIs have just crossed over here, so we may see a bounce for Bitcoin coming soon. And if we zoom out further here, where you can see since the bottom in 2022, we have this upward sloping parallel channel, which is acting as support. But let's zoom back in here to the daily chart and just discuss this in a bit further detail, because there is potential for further downside. If we do lose this mid-level here of around $57,000, well, we could be going down to that $50,000 to $52,000 range. Given the weakness here the last couple days, I do see that as a potential possibility. We may see a wick down, one final wick down, and then maybe begin to accumulate before finding a base, or it's possible that we do start to put in a basing formation here where we currently are, and maybe eventually break this downward sloping trend line that we've had for the past several weeks. If we could get above that and a hold, well, then it may be bullish for Bitcoin, but really I'd like to see Bitcoin get back up above this $63,000 range before I would really get bullish for Bitcoin. I think you could still see some weakness here in the coming days and weeks, possibly. I do think we will probably see some sort of bounce or reaction, given that the RSIs are at the bottom side on the daily and the weekly. Um, but it may be a bit of time before Bitcoin goes higher, and I still suspect Bitcoin will go higher later this year, going into fall. What about the other cryptos? Well, the total three is coming down to our box of support here. RSIs are also at the bottom side on the weekly. So you could see some of these altcoins begin to outperform Bitcoin. Some of them have been showing a bit more strength than Bitcoin here recently, including Ethereum, which is sitting at $3,000 and actually continuing to range sideways here between $3,000 and $4,000. So that's looking kind of bullish for Ethereum. We know we have the spot ETFs coming up for Ethereum, and those could begin trading sometime this summer. And we also have Solana holding up pretty well, sitting at $138, and it is also showing some signs of strength relative to Bitcoin. We have the RSIs at the bottom side on the weekly as well. So you could see some strength in some of these altcoins, but really we'll need to see the Bitcoin price um, find some strength to really see some strength here in some of these altcoins. All right, guys, if you're interested in buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, or many more, you can do so over at iTrust Capital. iTrust Capital allows you to buy, sell, and trade crypto, gold, and silver 24/7 with low cost and no monthly fee and a tax advantage IRA. Plus, they have over 5,000 plus 5-star reviews on Google. I use iTrust Capital. If you're interested, you can click the link down in the description below. Yes, it's a referral link, so I do appreciate it, guys. Uh, Also, don't forget to go follow me over on X or Twitter, where I post updates about stocks, commodities, and cryptos, or anything to do with the markets that I see, whether it is good or bad. And so you can go follow me over there at Mind of Financier. I am Mind of the Financier on uh, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, so you can follow me there as well. All right, guys, happy Monday to you all. Uh, we've got a new week here. We've got some important data coming out this week we'll need to keep an eye on, including the inflation reports and earnings. So we'll need to see what that looks like. But anyway, I hope you all had a great weekend. You enjoyed your 4th of July holiday. And this week we'll be making more videos here, helping people to become better investors and traders. All right, guys, I hope you all have a great day. Until next time, take care, be legendary, and peace out.